You may wonder how invoking the light differs from, say, traditional light work. Invoking the light is quite unique, bestowed with the power to dissolve darkness at its source instantly, as opposed to dispelling it or moving it on. Transmute energy to the highest light frequency. Reveal that which is concealed. Reliably distinguish truth from illusion. Looking at the light and darkness another way. At a basic level, the influence of the light manifests good, and the influence of darkness manifests evil. At a higher level, the influence of the light manifests full awareness, whereas the influence of darkness manifests no awareness or average human consciousness. The light activates and awakens our slumbering awareness. As we continually invoke the light, our awareness builds. Steadily we enter the state of higher knowing, a state of illumination that is beyond the mind, beyond human consciousness. With higher knowing, there are only answers, no questions, and the continual pursuit of worldly knowledge becomes less important. No awareness limits our potential. Full awareness frees us to attain our highest potential. Invoking the light empowers our lives on every level, personal, material, and spiritual. You may ask, how can the light empower my life? To realize unlimited personal potential, the light dissolves once and for all any darkness around your highest vision of yourself and your ability to love and be loved. To realize unlimited success, the light dissolves once and for all any darkness around money, hidden talents and abilities, and attracting rewarding business relationships. To know your true divinity, the light dissolves once and for all any darkness around your ability to believe. The light dissolves at its very source whatever is blocking your joy, success, and spiritual development. Finally, you can make steady progress and significant breakthroughs in living your highest potential with full empowerment on every level. Invoking the light offers supremely practical and logical light truths about our spiritual heritage. Invoking the light answers perplexing questions about the truth of our existence. For the first time, invoking the light easily explains the connection between science and spirit. As scientists have discovered, reduced to the subatomic level, our world and everyone and everything in it, and the entire universe is energy. You may wonder why everything is energy. Energy is the most basic frequency of the light. Visualizing this light truth in symbolic terms, imagine concentric circles formed in water. The farther away from the center or source, the lower the vibration. As Einstein has observed, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. For this reason, when you work with energy, it simply gets moved around or displaced. Nothing really changes. Even if it seems to change or go away, eventually it returns. Such is the nature of energy. As a practical example of this light truth, have you ever had the experience of resolving an issue only to have it return years later? An excellent example of how energy never really goes away. In truth, energy at the most basic frequency limits us. For this reason, our energetic world tends to hold us down, quite literally in terms of gravity, and emotionally in terms of negative thought patterns, beliefs, and experiences, constituting lower vibrations of being. As a practical example of this light truth, how do you feel when you have a negative thought, such as self-doubt or worry? You feel heavy. How do you feel when you have a positive thought, such as love or self-confidence? You feel light. Why? Like everything in our earthly existence, thought has form, and that form is energy. Negative thought forms are a denser energy. Positive thought forms are much lighter energy. Herein poses the challenge of life, to elevate the lower vibration of energy to the highest light frequency. The best we can do in an energetic world is to work with energy in order to lighten it up. Even the light used in traditional light work is a lighter form of energy. Invoking the light offers a unique opportunity. By invoking the light, you receive divine light directly from the highest source, enabling you to transmute the lower vibration of energy to the highest light frequency, the key to accelerating true powerful, and lasting change. When you have a negative thought or experience, invoke the light. As you do, the light transmutes all lower vibrations of being to the highest equivalent light frequency. For example, confusion transmutes to clarity, hate transmutes to love, fear transmutes to courage, and conflict to harmony. Every time you invoke the light, in a supremely practical way, the light elevates the vibration of your physical and ethereal bodies from their most basic energetic form. Not only can invoking the light heal us on every level, but also heal our communities and our world. By elevating the light frequency of our communities, persistent troubling conditions such as crime and neighborhood disputes can be resolved. By elevating the light frequency of our planet, even the damage caused to our delicate, finite, energetic environment and atmosphere can be repaired. By transmuting energy to the highest light frequency, a new wave of consciousness may emerge, replacing the outmoded focus on energy with the highest practice of elevating our light frequency, the very essence of our authentic being. For the first time, invoking the light enables us to achieve this aim in a simple, powerful, and accelerated way. The divine messages contained in invoking the light come at a time when we can offer the greatest and most significant benefit to humanity. The New Age community is in the best position to launch this new wave of consciousness. As we elevate our spiritual practice in an unlimited way, not only do we enable healing on every level, but also we may raise the consciousness of society in a very real way. So you may ask, so when do I invoke the light? Negative thoughts, reactions, and experiences are perfect opportunities to invoke the light. Every time you do, you actualize your illumination. The light removes once and for all any darkness, eliciting them, while deactivating its influence, which becomes superfluous as your awareness grows. As a collective humanity, enlightenment continues to elude us. We tend to preoccupy ourselves with advancing technology and improving our minds and bodies rather than nourishing our spirit, the very driving force of our human existence. For the first time, invoking the light makes enlightenment easy and accessible for everyone. On average, you can enter the state of enlightenment in as little as 18 months by regularly invoking the light. This revelation is indeed an exciting development in the overall progression of humanity. The light transforms, revitalizes, and empowers every aspect of your life as you quickly enter the natural state of enlightenment. And enlightenment is just the beginning of illumination. Eventually you attain the light of full awareness. All you need to do is regularly recite 2 simple sentences. You know you have attained the light of full awareness when fear dissolves from your consciousness. You become fearless. You have no more questions, only answers as your intuitive ability and sense of knowing heighten. You easily distinguish truth from illusion. Darkness can no longer elicit negative responses or experiences in your life. Your ego self gives way as you connect with your authentic divine mind. You transmute your physical and ethereal bodies to the highest light frequency. You live in the world but not of it, finally free of all attachment and limitation. You live life fully aware in a heightened state of completion, joy, and fulfillment. For many of us, activating and building our light frequency has become a major priority in the lead-up to 2012, symbolizing a major earthly and spiritual transition. Elevating our light frequency has never been so important. Why? Those attached to lower vibrations of being will have the most difficulty during this transition. For those with an elevated light frequency, the transition will be joyful. Invoking the light is the most simple, powerful, and accelerated way to transmute energy to the highest light frequency, now especially important in preparing for the changes to come in the lead-up to 2012 and beyond. As you invoke the light to dissolve all darkness, eliciting negative thoughts, beliefs, and experiences, steadily your light frequency elevates, finally enabling you to transcend the limitations and lower vibrations of this energetic world. In such an advanced state of being, knowledge gives way to higher knowing, as the light reveals your true divinity and uncovers the illusions of our earthly existence. You may ask, how can my earthly life be an illusion? It seems real to me. It is illusionary because it is a projection. Our world and everyone and everything in it are projections. And a projection, by definition, is an impression of true reality, an impression of who we really are. A friend of mine who invokes the light described her understanding of projection. We were walking along a snowy trail in Canada a couple of winters ago, and she exclaimed excitedly, "I finally get what you mean by projection." She placed her gloved hand into a snowbank and pulled away, saying, "That is not me, it is an impression of me." We can find symbolism of projection throughout nature. Observe how a body of water reflects a bird wading through it, or a majestic mountain. Interestingly, the more calm the water, the more accurate the impression. Our world is an impression of authentic existence, and our physical bodies are impressions of our authentic forms. Even our souls are impressions of our authentic beings. As the light connects us with our authentic selves, our true divinity, higher awareness leads to higher understanding. We begin to understand traditional spiritual truths in a new light as we perceive the original intent underlying all belief systems. Invoking the light is universal. It harmonizes with all beliefs and spiritual practices. It works even if you do not believe in it. In truth, the light is not a belief system. The light is belief in its purest, highest form. The light is not a practice. The light is a state of being. Invoking the light can transform one's life in a matter of months. One of my favorite testimonials involves a young man with a drug problem. He borrowed a copy of my book from a friend, read it cover to cover, and started invoking the light almost incessantly. In only 2 months, he completely lost his desire for drugs and rediscovered an ability he had that he had lost when he was 5 years old, of seeing auras around people and plants. I met him at one of the New Age expos. His mother introduced us, and I was just taken aback. I was so amazed by the sheer joy radiating from this young man. As an example of how the light can radiate outwards to benefit others in our lives, another testimonial involves a young lady who, after reading my book, found the courage to leave an unrewarding job. Soon she began working for a friend in his architect's business, and in only 3 weeks, her friend's business expanded with new clients and work premises. He considered it to be a kind of lucky charm, and contributed his newfound success to her presence. He did not know she's quietly invoking the light. Another reader of my book, a spiritual teacher of more than 40 years, said, "Your revelation has the effect of consolidating and evoking the highest potential inherent in all genuine spiritual wisdom." Invoking the light offers the final answer, the missing piece of the puzzle, a spiritual quantum leap to the light of full awareness. Ultimately, invoking the light can achieve unification of the spirit. You may wonder how this ultimate human goal can be possible in our world today. We all have one thing in common. We desire to connect with each other. Yet why does so much of life seem to separate us, such as different cultures, languages, beliefs, even geography? Because darkness elicits separation, the light elicits connecting with others. Invoking the light is universal. It has the potential to unite humanity like never before in peace and harmony, making fear and conflict a thing of the past. As we immerse ourselves in the light, we share a common bond. We connect at the highest level with the divinity in each other, and in doing so, unify all that is. Indeed, if enough people invoke the light on a worldwide scale, we can transform a world subject to fear, conflict, and despair, even the laws of physics, into heaven on earth.